is a book called Shakespeare Angels and the Wounded by Shnoonah McBride. Buses, family, trips, tours. How to create a demand. How to attract. Tikva, which is hope. Tov, which is good. Texas. Highways and roads and circulation. What do they get? Belief growing in their help. That their help is one effect. Many beliefs changing in a stay friends way. Why pilgrimage? Love is what people want, and will want. Luke Havergal, go to the Western Wall. Leka, go forth. Abraham Lincoln. M.O.A.T. Tourism and desirability is the key. Popularity and demand to see it. Attraction, magnetism, scar and coat, and ahova. The breaking of the vessels. Tourism to see the spirals gives to schizophrenia, cancer, AIDS, and rape victims. COTE products too. M.O.A.T. Angels, man, woman, and child. Donors donate money for the COTE products. Donors donate money to build M.O.A.T. To persuade the donors to do this is our goal for charities. To help victims and to help persuade the donors to help them through COTE and M.O.A.T. 1. Channeling, and 2. Guidance. Channels must be opened between donors and victims. Once the channels are opened, the donors, through their money, can help guide the victims to a better life. Donors are not just CEOs. Money opens the channels. Money translates into kinds of care, therefore wisdom for the victims. The initial confidence in donors donating is to be what we at M.O.A.T. try to help them gain through persuasion. Victims too need to accept the help and join help programs. Donors will work with the victims, hence the channel. Money distribution. Victims must accept the openness of donors to help. Donors must gain confidence in their own abilities to help. We build M.O.A.T. kind of tourist attractions and attention getters in Texas. Tourists are also rewarded by donors. Donors will help tourists and victims. Potential tourists must also open a channel between themselves and donors. A confidence in the ability to be good for the potential tourist, their eyes and minds, is what each donor must gain to make M.O.A.T. work and COTE. The tourist will be an art and Texas landscape viewer. The art is scattered around Texas in the form of I-beam sculptures. The art, the monuments in a spiral of I-beams, are what the open channel will produce. The donor channels both victims and potential tourists, and the victims channel the donor, and the potential tourists channel the donor. Each channel must be as strong and inclusive as possible. M.O.A.T donor channels the potential tourists, that's one channel. M.O.A.T donors channel the victims and back, that's two channels. And COTE donors channel the victims and back, that's three channels. Of this diagram, the goal is to turn potential tourists into COTE donors, consumers, and help them channel the victims to provide them with care, says Yafa. These are the difficulties. Victims must learn to accept the strangeness and reality of this miracle coming from potential tourists. Potential tourists must learn that they make a big difference that makes a difference. Miracle denial is overcome, and their openness to the strange is what helps them get to be their best. Programs for the victims give them peace and solitude to accept their help and give them cures. Victims must get physical pleasure from their public tourist-sponsored programs. Physical pleasure begins the openness to the programs which the public tourists donate to. I am a middleman hoping to persuade both victims and donors to open their channels. Billy. McBride. Through the result of channeling the donations straight to the victims and their recovery programs, we want to help give hope for those victims to live good lives. And we want a participation of the tourists in the channeling of the donations for victims. Trust is possible through this mutual channeling. The sightseers need to build trust in the victims and the victims in the possessors. The wounded, who are the victims, the wounded will never see the possessors, but they will trust and gain love from the helpful presence of them in their lives, says Marilyn. The possessors are worthy to be trusted by the wounded, and the wounded are worthy to be boosted to live their best lives. The breaking of the vessels. There should be a channel open between the wounded and the possessors. Money is one kind of way, of circulation in the channel. Money makes programs. Trust is the major channel into which money goes into one way and results come back the other, says Valerie. We promote willingness of both the wounded and the possessors to open the channels, says Valerie. The wounded need the miracle of the programs which COTE purchases fund, says Valerie. This is what the possessors need to help with and know. Their knowing is the purchasing of COTE products and of M.O.A.T. First comes M.O.A.T, then COTE. They need to say the names of they need to say the names of the possessors, not their possessors, but the possessors, such as Falstaff, Anthony, Hamlet, Othello, Cleopatra, Laertes, Pyramus, Thisbe, Romeo, Juliet, Macbeth, Duncan, Hotspur, Banquo, Father Hamlet, Ophelia, Polonius, Tybalt, Mercutio, Julius Caesar, Brutus, and others. The wounded see their helpers when they channel the possessors in different ways. Each wounded person views the possessors who help them in their own fresh, individually unique way, says Valerie. And there are 6 different types, perhaps, of people out there. 1, the in danger to be wounded people, and 2, everybody else. Of all the people that are included in this list, that's the zimzum, or withdrawal. 3, the possessors, and 4, the wounded. That's the breaking of the vessels, ha-sheri-off. 5, coat product sellers, and 6, possessors to be. That's the ha-tikkun, or the restoration. Penelope says that. Coat product sellers are like channel openers, says Penelope. Miltons are possessors, says Penelope. Body recovery program for the wounded. People must realize that their own good sparks are separate selves, who are angels, who still need to be raised to their former and best glory along with themselves, those people. Hamlet as an angel and good spark, or Tobspeed, of an individual's must be reminded of his childhood with Yorick. Stagnantness turned into willingness of angel and man or woman to open the channel for dialogue and contact is the type of change which we all of us deserve. Ophelia, the angel and Tobspeed, to help her human out must do something too. Shakespeare's characters became stagnant as they became angels, so much so that the individuals whom they inhabit are not activated with themselves until obstacles are removed, and they are persuaded to remove them, sometimes by reading Shakespeare's plays. I love you, says Valerie. I love you too, says Ariel. Angels within many are stagnant because they are disappointed with the ones they are in, says Amy. We must design good and desirable coat products to help the potential possessors of them want to buy them, says Amy. All coat products are byproducts of M.O.A.T. All M.O.A.T. donations will help build the spirals, says Amy. For the wounded, this is the system we offer. We build M.O.A.T. spirals, we sell the coat byproducts, and the money goes to the programs for their bodies' recoveries, says Amy. What do we sell that the possessors may possess, says Amy? Here's a useful list of coat products to be sold. Fabric items, t-shirts, sheets, curtains, clothes, bags, bedding, kitchenware, souvenirs, doodads, art products, signs and graphics, photo books, and regular books, and more, says Valerie. Anything that has to do with M.O.A.T. and the M.O.A.T. spirals, possessors can own if they buy them, says Valerie. The money goes to the programs for the wounded to recover, says Valerie. We are in the beginning stages of building the M.O.A.T. ideas, says Shnoonah. It is time that our invisible angels get off their butts to help the wounded live the best lives that they can live, says Kabbalah. The end.